During a trip to Cappadocia, Turkey, my ex-girlfriend and I rented a car to explore the area without a map, just following our instincts. The hotel staff told us to be back by 6 p.m. to catch a bus to a traditional Turkish dance show. With the whole day ahead of us, we set out at 8 a.m., visiting stunning sights, making new friends, and enjoying a leisurely lunch. By 4 p.m., we started heading back and arrived at the hotel just before 5 p.m. As soon as we pulled in, a staff member we hadn't seen before ran up to our car, frantically demanding the keys to return the rental and urging us to get into a waiting vehicle. Confused, I questioned him, but before I could get upset, the hotel manager, someone we had spoken to before, rushed over, apologizing. He had mixed up the timing of the show. It was actually starting in 15 minutes, but the venue was an hour away. Without hesitation, he jumped into the driver's seat while we hastily loaded our bags and got in. What followed was a high-speed, borderline reckless drive down an empty road as the sun set. The manager was pushing speeds that made my ex panic, while I just gritted my teeth and held on. At some point, we spotted lights ahead. Suddenly, the manager started shouting and punching the steering wheel. Before we could fully process what was happening, we pulled up to a roadblock. About 20 to 30 men in black masks and heavy weaponry stood before us. One of them yanked the manager out of the car, and a heated exchange followed, with the manager occasionally pointing in our direction. Several armed men turned their flashlights and their guns toward us. My ex was in full panic mode. I, on the other hand, sat in silence, fully convinced this was the end. After what felt like an eternity, the tension eased. The manager and the lead gunman returned to the car. In broken English, the masked man said something along the lines of "good luck and enjoy." Without wasting a second, the manager floored it again, somehow driving even faster. As we sped off, he explained what had just happened. The men were part of Turkey's anti-terrorism unit. They had assumed our speeding car was suspicious, possibly carrying terrorists. Seeing two terrified tourists in the back seat quickly made them realize their mistake. The manager admitted he initially thought they were regular cops and expected a speeding ticket, but these guys weren't interested in enforcing traffic laws. Instead, they simply told him to get us to our destination safely. I let out the deepest sigh of relief of my life. My ex wiped away tears, and oddly enough, we all shared a nervous laugh as the adrenaline faded. We arrived 45 minutes late, but the venue had held the show for us after the hotel called ahead. Over 100 other tourists had been waiting because of our unexpected detour. I've been in my fair share of scary situations, but nothing has ever made me feel closer to death than that moment. The masked men, the guns, the blinding lights, the dark, dusty road. It felt like the perfect setup for two tourists to vanish without a trace. I drank heavily during that show. For more such videos, please follow, like, share, and subscribe.